Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Crafty Hour number, I think we're on 12. Welcome, everyone. I'm just going to hang out here for a couple of minutes before we get started. We have 4 cards that we're going to make together using this beautiful Spellbinder kit. There was lots of goodies in there. This was the Have a Springy Day. And there was papers in there and dies and stamps and embellishments. Good morning. So we are going to create 4 gorgeous cards. So we're going to get started here in just a few moments. I am just waiting for all of us to hop on and then we will get started. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to a beautiful day here on the West Coast. Anyway, is absolutely gorgeous. I just realized that we switch. Oh, we've got some spammer here. Hold on one moment. Lulu, can you grab my desktop for me, my laptop? We've got some spam on here. I don't know why they love our crafty hours, but I tell you, they hop on and they're just a pain in the butt. Hello, hello. So, we changed our clocks this weekend. My goodness, I can't believe it's that time already. We got some spam here, so I'm going to see if I can get rid of it while we are logging on. Get everybody ready. Good morning. Bear with me one sec. I'm just going to log on to my laptop, see if we can get rid of the bad guys, because they are such annoying. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. All right, there we go. We can log on. Maybe they got rid of themselves. Every time, I tell ya. Nope, I don't. Oops, let's block that. Yep, there they are. Let's ban. Confirm. All right. Good morning, everyone. We'll stay on top of this. I'm going to keep my laptop handy and we'll see how that goes. So, welcome everybody else. We're going to make 4 cards today. I have designed 4 cards. One of the cards that I designed is actually a spin-off of one of the ones that I saw that Spellbinders did. So, we're going to make these 4 cards together. And hopefully our time will allow. Just a reminder that you can go back and watch this at any time. So if you just want to sit back and watch, if you don't want to do it live, that is okay. We do not delete these. They will be up on our Facebook page forever and ever. If you just go to our media tab, click on lives, you will find it there. So let's see, we got a minute more. I had asked you, let's move this over here. Good morning, good morning. I had asked you to find your die cuts because there was a lot of die cuts in your package. So I have my die cut split, card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4. That's just going to help speed things up a little bit for me. I realized this morning that I forgot my normal glue, so we're just going to go with our Barely Art glue. It'll work fine. Normally I use my quick dry, but I forgot it this morning. I was so busy dealing with customs, etc. at 7 a.m. That I just totally forgot to bring it. So I'm going to just set these off to the side so that I can come back to this. And I'm going to bring in the first card. Good morning, everyone. I did get myself organized everywhere else. I just forgot the important stuff. Truth be told, I also forgot my foam tape, but that's okay. We have a store full of foam tape, so we're okay. So this is going to be the first card. Now, Crafty Hour cards are a little bit simpler. That is the goal, is to get them done. And we provide this wonderful kit. Wait until you see tomorrow's kit. It is so beautiful and so big. I am going to go live at 9 a.m. when we open up the registration. So you definitely don't want to miss that tomorrow. It's going to go fast. So this is the first card that we're going to create. I have printed the instructions there so that we can kind of make it together. And we're going to use the cards that are in your kit. Good morning, everyone. So good to see you. We're going to use the cards that are in our kit. So I have one of these cards. I have some of our purple cardstock. This was in the kit. And then I want you to find these 3 papers. 2 of them are purple. This one has a bunch of diagonal lines. So we're going to use that one. This one I love. It is just gorgeous floral paper. It's got some pinks and some purples. It's stunning. I'm going to use that one. Good morning, everyone. And then I'm going to use this one. This is just a black and white one. And it kind of has vines. We're going to say that it has vines on it. So those are the 3 pattern papers that we need. And then, of course, our purple cardstock. That is for this card. So I'm going to get started because I am hoping to get through all of the 4 cards. Now, if I don't get through all of the 4 cards, I left the last is the easiest, and I will show you the measurements so that you can create it yourself. But let's see how we go with our crafty hour. Let's see if we can. I was a little ambitious. I think I could have created dozens more. So I have my white card. I just gave it an extra fold because I feel like it needs it when I feel the spine. I feel like it needs it. And I'm going to start with the first 2 measurements here on my screen. So I'm going to take my cardstock, and my cardstock has a small little border all the way around. So I am going to cut that to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Now I have already cut my paper kind of in half. If you want, do your 5 3/8 first, and that will get you, where did my white paper go? Oh, right here. If your paper is still like this, then just go ahead and cut it at 5 3/8, and that will be totally fine. I am going to do my first one at 4 1/8 because mine's already cut in half. So 4 1/8, that's just a little bit over 4 inches. And my 5 3/8 is just a little bit under 5 1/2. So if you think about your A2 size card as being 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, we just make it a little bit smaller, just under 4 1/4 by just under 5 1/2. And that will always give us that little measurement. Now we make sure that we cut it right. I can see a little border of white all the way around. I'm going to take a smidgy more off. And then go ahead and glue that on. Now you can use whichever glue you want. You can use a tape runner. I usually use my quick dry, but today I'm going to use my Barely Art glue. Hopefully, I also realized I didn't put my pin back in. I just used my rubber stopper. So that wasn't good. It's been a little bit of a crazy last few days trying to get everything organized. I think the full moon's playing into it. Okay. So that is the first cut. It's our purple cardstock that is in the kit. Everything here is in the kit. And we cut it 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. We're going to jump over to this pattern paper. That's going to be our base. Now these are 6 by 6 papers. In your kit, you got a whole paper pad. That means you have 2 of everything. So you will have enough to create your cards with Courtney later. So we're going to cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to do my 4 first. That gives me a bigger piece left over, and I do use that piece later. So first measurement is 4. I'm going to save this because we're going to use this later. So I'm going to put it off to my side, and then I'm going to do 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. Now this little guy I am not using. You are welcome to keep it if you wish. And I'm just going to double check that before I put glue on it. I'm going to take a little bit more off the side because I already did on that purple one. So mine just needs a hair off it. That should work perfectly. Ah, perfect. And so we're going to glue that on. Nice and easy. Let's glue that. Thank you, Christine. Hopefully you guys have all registered. I know my next class is the Tranquility, which is using 49 and Market. Courtney is participating in that. If you are one of our American friends, you can get your kit from Courtney. And that class is almost sold out. Oh my gosh, that was record time. So I was able to make a little bit more. Very excited about that one. All right, beautiful. Love that. Now we could have done a purple foil on here. I am going to tell you that both Courtney and I are expecting the exclusive foil bundles to be arriving. Ours is arriving later this week. And both Courtney and I were saying that we're going to start incorporating that foil into our Crafty Hours. So when you see us do that, I think it's going to be Friday on my live. You'll have to check with Courtney. I recommend getting a bundle ASAP. Okay, now I want you to find, and we'll show you those bundles on our lives, so don't worry about that. I want you to find this paper. This is kind of the white paper with the little black vines. And although this isn't the next paper that we're going to put on our card, I do want to cut it. Good morning, Courtney. I was just telling them that we're going to start using those foils. I'm not sure if you've got tracking yet on when your foils are arriving. Okay, so I'm going to take this vine paper and I'm just going to cut it to a really easy 3 by 4. Super easy, 3 and then by 4. 3 by 4, nice and easy, that one. 3 by 4. That is this black and white kind of vine paper. Maybe it's branches, but I've got vine in the head, so we're going to go with that. 3 by 4. That is this one right here. Now from this leftover purple cardstock, we are going to cut a piece that's just a little bit bigger than 3 by just a little bit bigger than 4. 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. And you'll see why I'm doing this in a minute. I want to secure this paper, so I'm going to do this just over 3 inches. So I'm getting a little border by just over 4 inches. And I am going to use this purple again in a moment. So let's see if that worked. 3 by 4, that's perfect. Again, gives me that little border all the way around. And I'm going to glue that together. Whoops, I'm not used to this glue. I went right off my card. That is the kind of week I'm having. Okay. So 3 by 4. And for now, I'm just going to set this aside. I just wanted to make sure I had enough purple left over. So I'm just going to set it off to the side for a minute. Just like that. And I'm actually going to go to the diagonal paper. This is the last paper we're going to cut for this card. So we're going to do that same measurement, and I don't care where you take it from. It doesn't matter to me. You can take it anywhere you want. I will probably cut from a different spot than what I did on the original card, but we're going to cut another paper to 3 by 4. I know, it feels like it should be Friday. I tell you, it's been a day. It's been a week. It's been a year. 3 by 4. So once again, same measurements. 3 by 4. Now, I want you to conserve your paper. You could, I have a big enough piece that I could just glue this right on and call it a day. But I'm going to just do a couple little strips because really I'm only going to see this purple at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to conserve that cardstock. And what I mean by conserving is I'm going to cut a couple of little strips. Maybe 1/2 inch. As you can see, I didn't measure. Maybe about 1/2 inch. They can be 1/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to attach one at the very top, slice that extra off, and one at the very bottom. You can use your liquid glue. You do have some of this in your kit, which is a little bit of double-sided tape. You can use that as well. If you want, you can just cut your purple to 3 1/4 or 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. It's up to you. But I'm just going to make this little strips because I want you guys to have enough cardstock left over. And because I'm only going to see this on the top and the bottom, I don't need to waste all of it. So I'm going to put, yeah, it's going on the long ends, Joyce. Let me get this one on here and I'll show you. Oopsie, be straight about it. Oh my gosh, there we go. So just like that. And then I'll snip this off after. I'm just going to put them both on and then I'll cut at the same time. So only showing on the long sides. And then like that. So I have a purple border on the top and the bottom. And now I can take this. I could use my scissors too. And I'm just going to slice that off and throw it away. Okay. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, everybody. So I have purple at the top, purple at the bottom. I'm a little crooked, but we're not going to see that. And now that's it for cutting paper for this card. We are going to foam tape this onto our card, whichever way you want. It doesn't matter to me. So we're going to grab out the foam tape. And I'm going to make sure to have foam tape in the middle with this one as well. Good morning, Anne. Because this is a fairly big piece and I didn't put cardstock all the way across the back, so this is going to firm it up a little bit. So I'm going to put 3 strips, just like that. And I'm going to bring this about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. I'm making sure that my cards are opening right way. And I'm going to come up about 1/4 of an inch. I am not measuring. I'm just eyeballing. My other card was a little bit higher. It'll both work. Don't stress it. Don't stress. Good morning, Joanne. So about 1/4 of an inch. I could have come up a little bit more, but I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to bring the vine paper in, and we're going to put the vine paper just nice and simple right about there, about 1/4 of an inch in, and we're going to come up maybe about 1/2 an inch or so. And I'm going to glue the bottom part flat. So what that tells me is I need some foam tape at the top only. So I'm going to flip this. I'm going to put some foam tape at the top. And then I'm going to put glue down on the bottom half. Foam tape at the top. Glue on the bottom. And I'm going to come over about 1/4 of an inch. That's going to let me see some of those diagonals. And I might come up a little bit more. I think I can come up about 1/2 an inch, I'm going to say. Okay, and all that's left to do with this one is to start our decorating. So I'm going to bring in my die cuts that I asked you to find, and we're going to do those first. All right, Sharon, well, thank you for popping in. We'll catch you on the replay. Okay, so these are the ones that I posted to have you find because you have so many die cuts, so many, that it's easier for you to find them now. If you have not done that, I would recommend setting this aside, coming back and doing your die cuts after because it's going to be a heck of a time to find them. I had a heck of a time. So I'm going to start with my little sunshine. I'm going to put my sunshine up in the very top corner of that black and white paper. Just like that. You are my sunshine. So cute. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my flowers. I'm going to remove these flowers. I have 3 flowers. I'm going to leave the lighter one for the top. I'm going to start with this one that has a few leaves. And I'm going to glue this one flat. This is the one that has a couple of leaves. I'm going to put it on an angle right kind of in the corner, kind of like that. And that one is flat. No foam tape on that. Then we'll bring in the foam tape. And I'm going to put foam tape on the next darker purple one. I love that these have a little bit of gold on the backs. And I'm going to put that one kind of like that. Okay. Now that one has foam tape. This one is flat. So we've gone flat, 1 foam tape. The next one I'm going to do double foam tape. So this is my last flower. I'm going to fold that foam tape in half. Put a piece in the back. And I'm going to put this one. Now I don't want to overlap. So I think it's going to go like that. Okay, so I have some different heights there. 3 foam tapes. Now I'm going to take my next piece here. This is my leaves, and I'm actually going to use this in a couple of places. I wish they had a little few more leaves in here, but we're going to cut this. So if I start at the bottom, I'm going to have these 2 leaves, and then I have this really big one, and right here, let me cut it. I'm just going to cut it, and you'll see how I fix it in a minute. So that's what I've got. Oops, I just spilt my sequins. Okay, so following that guideline, we're just going to kind of cut them in half. And we're going to start with the top portion first. Okay, so I'm going to put that one off to the side. The top portion, I'm going to put a little bit of foam tape on the back. Just going to tear a little piece on the back. And this is the top portion. Good morning, Frida. And I'm just going to slide it kind of, let's see, I'll move it up just a little bit, kind of like that, just to give it a little bit of greenery that is poking out from there. Okay. So we've got our 3 flowers, each of them at a different level. And then we're going to take this one and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put a little piece of foam tape on it. Now, I'm not going to worry too much about shaping, and let me show you why. I am going to use this adorable little ladybug to hide how I cut it. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of foam tape on it. I think that'll, let's just put a little bit there. Okay, so I know I've got this little bit here, and I'm not going to stress it because my ladybug is going to hide that. And I'm just going to kind of sneak that under. And I think I'll do it a little bit more on an angle. So I'm going to cut my tail, the stem off just a bit. So I can shove it under because my foam tape is kind of in the way there. I don't want it hanging down. I think I'll do it like that. It'll be a little different. Okay, now I'm going to grab my pop dots, which of course I forgot to, but I have a couple here for the store. My pop dots are a little bit higher, so that's a good thing because that's where my ladybug, we're going to put the pop dot kind of, let me put it down here and then I'll show you. Come on. Can't get the backing off. Pop dots have been sitting there for a while. Okay. So I'm going to put the pop dot right at the end, and then I'm just going to put that cute little ladybug on top like that. Now, we could always go back at the end, and you can add in some glossy accents in the centers or on your ladybug, or you could add some shimmer and glimmer. That would be cute as well. The last die cut we have is this gorgeous butterfly. And I'm going to take one of my pop dots again, and I'm going to just put it right in the center on the back of my butterfly. And he's going to be up here. Kind of like so. Now you have a package that looks like this that has a couple of sheets, and it is all chipboard. And on one of them, if you haven't opened up your package yet, open it up because we're going to use some of these, but you only have one. So I can't do this again. My card's going to have to look a little bit different. You have grateful and then for you. So go ahead and put some foam tape on the back. This one will work really good if you have your foam strips. And let's put that on. Now, I can't because I have already used mine, so I'll use something different for this one. And I know that Courtney is going to be using a lot of these for her crafty hour. So go ahead and add your chipboard. What I'm going to do while you're doing that is I'm going to add in some of these sequins because, of course, you can do that after. So go ahead and do that. I'm just going to use my glue, put 3 dots of, oh, I wonder if I brought my kit. How could I not have? Nope, I don't see it. Dang. Now that I use my pick all the time, I can't do without my pick. Oh dear. Nope, I gotta get a pick. Okay, you guys put your chipboard on. And I am going to grab out a pick. There we go. Meanwhile, my glue is going to be dry. And I'm just going to add some random little sequins. These are kind of iridescent sequins, so they really are a pretty color. We'll put one there, put one there, put one there. I don't know where they're going. And you can add as many as you like. I'm going to add 2 sets of 3. Just kind of around those flowers. I'm going to move my sequins. Okay, so you're going to, hopefully, you have your words on. Grateful for you. Those are chipboard words. They have some foil on them, and they are popped up. So, of course, you can do, if you don't want to use those, don't use those, and you can use one of your stamps. That's totally fine. And that one's done. I just have to go home and put my whatever greetings I'm going to use on mine. So card number 1 is done. Hopefully that worked out okay. I'm going to bring this in case you want to take a screenshot of the measurements. In case you are just watching along, those are the measurements for card number 1. I'm going to get started on card number 2 because I have 4. A little crazy, I know. Okay, this one's a little bit more. You will do the words on your own. You will do the Life is Sweet on your own. That comes from this sheet, and it's right down here. We won't do that because, 1, I don't have any more, but I also want you guys to do this on your own and take your time to get it organized. So, card number 2. Where is my little... Oh, I left everything in here. Okay, card number 2. Measurements. Gonna take feel like my cards were folded in half opposite. I like the texture on the outside. Okay. So we're going to start the exact same way, same measurements. Okay, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I cut my paper in half. I do that because Courtney gets half and I get half. So if you've cut your paper in half, then you can go right to your 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. This is the brighter of the two pinks. Okay, you have two pink cardstocks. This is the brighter one. Okay, again, I need to just take a smidge off. My last card had all the texture on the outside, so that's kind of weird. This one's a little backwards. Okay, let's glue that on. Okay. This is the brighter of the two pinks that we're going to use for this one. Of course, you could always make your card a color if you wish. That was half. Yeah, I always cut all my cardstocks in half because Courtney and I split the kit. So that's why mine are always already in half. I just cut them right at 5 1/2. It just makes it easier. And then we have your pink cardstock is the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. First one. Now, this is the pattern paper we're going to use. So if you go into your pattern paper, into your 6x6, we're going to use this pretty wildflower paper in your kit. And we're going to do that same measurement that's 4 by 5 1/4. Same measurement. Now, this time you want to watch because it is a directional paper. You can see that your flowers are growing up. They're not growing sideways. So we're going to put it in so that your flowers are up and down tall. And we're going to do that first cut at 4 inches. Flowers are up and down tall, 4 inches. There's my shipment. Okay, then we're going to trim it down to 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. And I might need to smidge mine a bit. We're going to double check. Actually, I'm pretty good. I think I'm good. So as long as we have that darker pink all the way around, go ahead and glue. So that's the first pair of measurements we have done. And again, if you find I'm going a tad bit too fast, don't stress. This will be on replay so that you can watch it at any time. You can pause, rewind. Glue that on. And then I'm going to show you the next paper I want you to find in your paper pile. In your 6x6. And the next card after this is, ooh, so easy. We just get to decorate it, really. So this is a blue gingham paper. It's got a little bit of a little shimmer of green in there. Gorgeous spring paper. And it goes so nice with these papers. No right or wrong to this. Doesn't matter which way you cut it. First measurement we're going to cut is 2 1/2. And then we'll trim that to 4 3/4. So I'm going to take it into my trimmer. Doesn't matter which way. 2 1/2 is your first cut. 2 1/2. We'll save this. And then we're going to trim this down to 4 3/4. 4 3/4. 2.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, I'm going to set this aside because now we're going to cut our blue cardstock. Again, this was in your kit. Oh, thank you, Sarah Ann. So appreciate that. In your kit, and again, I've already cut it in half. If you want, you can. We're just going to use a little bit on this one. We just need a little bit of blue around it. So because this was 2.5, we're going to go to just a little bit bigger than 2.5. That would be 2 3/8. So go to 2.5, not 2 3/8. Ah, see, you just jinxed me, Sarah Ann. Just jinxed my 2 5/8. It's a little bit bigger. 2 5/8. 2 5/8, just over the 2.5 mark. And if, where did my, there it is. Good gracious. It's all good. I told you, the full moon's affecting me. So if I put that on, you can see it's just going to give me a little border. And then I need to trim the length to, once again, just over 4 3/4. So this is how we get those little measurements. Technical measurement is 4 7/8. Now let's have a look. And I think that's all we use this blue cardstock for. That works. Okay, so go ahead and glue it together. Gluey, gluey. Yeah, full moons. This one, I have been feeling the effects. I don't know what's going on, but ask Courtney what a mess I was yesterday. Just trying to get it all done, and it's been, takes a village, I tell you. Okay, so we've glued that, and we're going to go ahead and put this right onto our card. We're going to do this with foam tape. So I'm going to grab out my foam tape. And just going to put a couple strips of my foam tape down. We're going to put this on the left-hand side, even top to bottom, and the left side. So what I've done is this measurement, and the bottom measurement, those 3 sides are all pretty close. Of course, I've got a couple of finger widths over here. That's okay. We're going to use that in a moment. Oh, so pretty. These colors just go stunning together. The next paper I want you to find is this one. This is the pink wood. It's kind of got a diagonal to it. And we're going to use this one. This is going to be the last paper we cut for this one. So in your kit. And again, I don't care where you cut it from. It doesn't matter to me. We're going to cut a square. 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Cutting it from wherever you want. It's going to be a square. Save this extra bit. And it looks like that. 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Square. And then we're going to go back to that dark pink. And we need to make a little mat for this one. So it's going to be just a little bit bigger than 3 1/4. That is 3 3/8 square. So I'll show you where that is on here. A little bit bigger than 3 1/4. Go to 3 1/4, go a little bigger. And we need this to be a square. Okay, that's it for paper on this card. So we're going to glue that together. Perfect. That's it for cutting. we're going to start decorating this. Now we're going to put this on a diagonal, kind of like so, right about there. I do have a little bit hanging over the edge, and I'm okay with that. I just usually use bigger envelopes. Some people like to cut it off, but I kind of like that. So when I go to glue this on, what's going to happen is I'm going to get these lines going sideways. So I want you to position your paper. You could have it this way, but the reason I like the lines going that way is this going to help you line up your words when you do them after our crafty hour. It's like a little bit of magic there so that we don't have to try and be straight. So we're going to glue this flat on the left, and over here on the right, I'm going to add some foam tape. So it's going to look like this. I'm going to turn it upside down so I know where to put my foam tape. I'm going to put a little bit right like that. Just kind of holding it up. And then everywhere else, I'm just going to use my glue. Doesn't have to be perfect. So it's kind of like that. When I flip it over, I have mine kind of like so. Yep, I think that works. So notice I don't see any foam tape there. And it's going flat on the card. Over here, it doesn't really hang over. It just goes right to the edge of my card. And my lines are now straight so that when I go to do my words, I am okay. Now we have a lot of die cuts on here. So we're going to start stuffing some of these die cuts in. So we're going to start with this first purple one. This purple one has these little flowers on them, and it has some green. It is the brighter of them. We're going to put glue on the back, and we're going to stick this right up there. Now, if you have to move your foam tape, you can, but we're going to just kind of stick it right behind there, like that. I usually try and get my foam tape in so I can do all this stuffing. All right, the next one we're going to do, I think we'll do this one next. Looks like so. It's the long, skinnier of the flowers. This one is a little bit more round. So we'll start with the long, skinny. We're going to put foam tape on the back of that. And let me just see, in case I did, nope, just single. Just like that. Okay, and this one is going to go right. I'm going to do it like that. I'm going to move it over just a bit. I want it to stick to the pink. Okay, hopefully everyone can see that. Goes on a diagonal, it follows that pink line. Now we're going to go to this one that's got a little bit more roundness to it. It's a little bigger. And I'm going to put some foam tape behind it. And I'm going to put it down to cover, I think like that, to cover the bottom point. So see those pink flowers? They're right down at the bottom. And this is going to leave a gap in the middle, which is perfect. Let's do our next flower, which are these ones. They're a little bit brighter. They're not quite so watercolored. It's a small one. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back. And this one's going to go like so. Goes on the blue, and you can see I sort of tucked it a little bit under there. So far, all 4 of our flowers are on. So far, so good. Let's put this on. We have a leaf here. I'm going to put a little bit of foam tape on that leaf. Just a little bit. We might have to cut the stem off a little bit. I just have a little bit of foam tape because I want a little bit more greenery up here. Thank you, Kim. Let's see. Yeah, that works. I just stuck them back there. Stuffers, that's what I call that one. It's a stuffer. Okay, time to add our bird nest because these are springy cards. So I'm going to take this and I am going to double it up. I might even, nope, it's just double. And I'm going to put that in that gap. That's why we left that gap there. Isn't it pretty color, Charlotte? I love them. So I left that gap on purpose because now we are going to put in our, I'm going to move my foam tape a bit. We're going to cover that gap right there with our little birdhouse. Okay, and then we will add our bird. We're going to put our bird right in the nest. So I can see I need to trim down that just a little bit, that foam tape. Just a bit. Let's try that again. Sometimes you have to do that. And I think for the bird, I'm going to put a little pop dot right above the eggs because he's going to be like it's actually a mama bird. It's going to be like she's sitting on her nest of eggs. So I put a little dot there and then I'm just going to slide her in. If you need to move your foam tape, you can. And we're going to add her to the nest. I'm going to move her over. I think she needs to come over just a bit. You'll notice I never mush anything down until I'm positive that everything is where I want it. Okay? Isn't she cute? All right, Tracy, you take care. Now, what you're going to do for homework is you're going to put on your Life is Sweet, and that is on these. And you have a whole bunch of hearts on here. So I added 3 hearts. I did one that was right here, and these are little foam. They're already stickers, so they work really good. I put one down here, and then I don't know if I have another itty bitty one, but we'll just do that because I like 3. I like things in 3s. So I have a heart, 3 hearts, and then you will do your Life is Sweet. Line those up. Sweet is 2 different sets, and that card is done. I will use one of my leftovers, but I know that Courtney's using some of these, so I'm not going to take them for there. All right, so that is card number 2 done. Whew, we might get through them. And just a reminder, that was 2 5/8. That is your measurement for card number 2. All right, moving along. We are going to do card number 3. Now, card number 3 is very easy. This is one that I saw that Spellbinders had done, but they did it a little bit more simple. I added the yellow layers and I added the cloud because I thought it needed a cloud. So we're just going to jazz it up a little bit. So find a card. This one will be done in no time. Find your card. Isn't it cute? We're good. And same measurement as before. We're going to use our yellow cardstock. This is a bright cardstock. Same measurement as we've done on the other 2 cards. So again, I've already cut mine in half, so I don't use Courtney's. So I'm going to do 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Same measurement. Just a little over 4 by just a little under 5 3/4. I'm going to double check it, make sure I'm happy with it. I'm going to take a smidgy more off. Perfect, and I'm going to glue that yellow. That yellow is bright school bus yellow, so I don't want a whole lot of it on there. Just a little to brighten it up. Now, again, this card, when I saw it online, what they had done is they hadn't put any yellow cardstock on. They had taken that paper, the cloud paper, right to the edge. So that's an option too. It would just look like that, but I really liked how it brought out the suns. So go ahead and find your cloud pattern paper. That is in your paper pad. And this is the same measurement that we've done all the time. 4 by 5 1/4. Again, this is directional. So we want to make sure that our first cut, we're looking at the clouds properly. We don't want any sideways clouds. Clouds are proper. And you do that 4-inch cut first. 4 inches first with the clouds proper. Then you can turn it on its side and do 5 1/4. And I agree, Frida, I thought that that yellow just popped it. It really did. So we have it. Let's use it. Go ahead and glue that on. So far, same measurements as the previous 2 cards. We kept this nice and simple. Okay, now you also had in your cardstock a piece of white, full sheet of white. You can see I haven't cut my white yet. So go ahead and find that one. And we are going to cut this to 3 by 4 1/4. So I'm just going to do my 3-inch first. I'm going to take the white right over to 3 and cut at 3. Okay. And then I'm going to trim that down to 4 1/4. 3 by 4 1/4. That is our white. You can use some of your scraps. We usually always have scraps in our bins around. So if you need to, you can do that. And then we're going to make this just a little bit of yellow. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I could turn it this way and get a little bit bigger yellow, but I am so close to it fitting this way that I'm going to cheat and I'm going to do it this way and take a little off the white because it's really not going to make a difference. So your yellow piece, that's the measurement, 3 1/8 by 4 3/8. I'm going to take a little white off because it's not going to matter. It saves me paper. That's perfect. And then I still have some yellow left. So all I did is I took my white and I matted it again with that yellow. So let's glue those together. And we are going to then foam tape it to the center of the card. Okay. So it looks like that. And then go ahead, find your foam tape. We're going to foam tape it into the center. Just like so. Okay, that's all the paper we need for this one. As I mentioned, super easy. We're going to go into the die cuts I had for you to pull. And I'm going to start, I think, with my bicycle. I'm going to take my little bicycle. And, of course, we're going to put foam tape on the back of the bicycle. Now, the bicycle is not going to go right to the bottom. I'll show you in a moment. Because you're going to have one of those chipboard banners that you're going to put on the bottom. So I'm going to come up from the bottom. It's going to be kind of, actually I need to come up a little bit more. I want you to come up about 1/2 inch. Now, you guys have your banners in front of you. They are on your chipboard right here in the middle. So if you go ahead and take that little banner out, you can attach that one down to the bottom with foam tape or without. your choice. And then the bicycle sits right on top of it. I don't have a banner because I used them. I'm going to use an arrow just so that you have a kind of a visual. But I would use one of your banners. And I use the blue one that says, a day full of happy moments. Now also on your chipboard, it is on this one, right down here, you have that lovely banner. Looks like this. Go ahead and take your lovely banner. And again, foam tape or not, your choice. We're going to attach it up in the corner. And you'll notice that the strings go off the edge a little bit, and that's okay. It's just being tied right to the end. So go ahead and add that banner up in the top corner. I don't have a banner. Maybe I'll add that. But you add the banner, because I don't know. Courtney might be using this. I don't want you guys to get in trouble. I'm going to add that. Now we're going to take our cloud die cut. This is a die cut. We're going to put some foam tape behind it. And I'm going to have, yeah, I don't like that there. We're not going to put that there. I'll put something else there. We're going to add that so that it does come off the card. You can see here, it is coming off, not the card, but the center white piece. So go ahead and add that. Then we're going to take our butterfly. I'm going to put a pop dot behind my butterfly. And I'm going to pop dot him to the cloud. Just like that. Okay, then I had you find this adorable little bumblebee. He was so cute. Let me see if I have any more of my pop dots kicking around here. I think, oh, I do not. All right. We will use a little foam tape then. If you have your pop dots, take your pop dot, and we're going to pop dot our bumblebee. Yes, Ellen, give us a call right after. We got a big shipment of foam tape in. We're going to pop this up. So I'm going to show you the card that yours has because you have the chipboard pieces. We have the chipboard down here that says a day full of happy moments. We have the bicycle foam taped above it. We have our lovely foam taped up in the corner. That is also chipboard. We have a cloud with some foam tape, our little butterfly with a pop dot, our bumblebee, and then we're going to add some of those small glitter hearts. Just kind of randomly, they really add a little sparkle. Okay, that card is done. Okay, so that one, super easy. There's your measurements again if you want to screenshot that. And again, you can go back. It's hard to do when I only have one chipboard and you have multiple chipboards. Okay, last card, and I think we can squeeze it in. I have about 6 minutes, so let's go with it. We'll do it. This is the last card. Super pretty. There is one chipboard, actually 2 chipboards on here, so you will add that in. So there's my measurement. We're going to use gold foil for this one. And the first thing we're going to do is take our card and we're going to trim it so that it is a square, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to take this card, I'm going to put the spine at the top, and I am going to trim some of the white off. I don't need that. You can use that for stamping if you wish. So now I just have a smaller square card. Okay, then I'm going to take my gold foil, which is right here. Remember, I've already cut my gold foil in half at 5 1/2. And I'm going to cut this gold foil to 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So that is just over 4. Take it, line it up, 4 1/8. Rotate it and trim it to 4 1/8. I'll use these scraps in a minute, so we'll just keep them. I'll make sure that it fits okay. Perfect. And glue it on. Sorry, that is out. I know, I love this foil. It's just like aluminum. Aluminum. Okay, now there is 2 pattern papers I want you to find in your scraps. These are the purple ones. One of them is a little patch of wildflowers, has gold in it, and one of them has little bows. This bow actually matches one of your dies. Okay, and it has gold little dots. So these are the 2 purple patterns that we're going to use, and we're going to start with the floral one. Okay, so I'm going to keep going, and again, please don't feel that you have to keep up, but I do want to get through this one. So I'm going to cut the purple floral one, which is this one, to 4 by 4, nice and easy. 4 by 4, and we're going to glue that to our card. Perfect. Glue it on. My glue, forgot to cap it, and I'm making a mess of it. Okay. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm also going to cut, I'm going to skip and cut, whoops, cut the next purple bow paper. Just because it's in my hand, I am going to cut it to 3 by 3. That is the purple bow paper. Just going to do that now. Get all the cutting kind of out of the way. So purple bow paper, nice little square, 3 by 3. And the gold needs to be just a little bit bigger. So the gold needs to be 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. That's just a little bit over 3. And double check it. Looks good. Now I'm going to use this one in a minute. This is why I cut it first. So we're just going to glue those together. Now you guys have a lot in your kit, a whole lot. So you guys are going to have a lot of creativity. I can't wait to see what you guys do in our Crafty Creations website, on our Facebook page. So please make sure to share that. Okay, so I'm just going to set our purple bow paper aside. So that is that one. Bring back the card. And I want you to find this scrap. This was a leftover scrap from our first card. You can see that's what I'm going to use. Leftover scrap. All you need to do is trim this piece to 4 inches. Okay, it's already the right width. Did I cut that right? So we're just going to trim it down to 4 inches. Now you can do the trick I showed you before where you cut 2 gold strips. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the lazy way out, and I am just going to glue it right down here onto here because I want to finish this card. So it's a little bit quicker. So I'm going to take it to just over 2 by 4 because I don't have gold at the top. But you can certainly conserve. That is okay. but for the sake of our time, I am not going to. I only have gold on the long sides. Okay. All of our paper now is cut. We have 3 papers. They're all matted in gold. All I'm going to do now is attach and decorate. So making sure that my card is opening up the way I want it to. It is a square card, so of course you could have it anyway. I'm going to take this. Now comes the really easy part. I'm going to add foam tape to the back, and this is going to go right in the middle of my card. As middle as I can. Okay. I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue it flat right in the middle. Now you'll notice that the bows are very random, so don't worry about which way it goes. They kind of go all over. And put that in the middle. Make sure I'm straight. Perfect. I'm going to start with the big heart. This was your die cuts that I asked you to find, the big heart. It's got gold foil on it. And I'm going to put foam tape on the back of my big heart. And I'm going to put that in the middle, like so. Now I've got a couple of these little watering, not watering cans, but I guess like floral arrangements and some vases, making sure I'm telling you the right thing. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put this one with some foam tape on the back. I'm going to start with the blue one. Trying to get my other foam tape here. And this one is going to kind of hang off the edge of my bow paper. So let me get this on and I'll show you kind of where it's going to go. I want it to kind of go like that, kind of on the edge. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to add a little extra foam tape. Now this one gets a little tricky. So I'm going to kind of put that double foam tape beside it because it's going to drop down. It's going to be like that. So I don't need it to attach up here. I just need it to attach down on the bottom. So what I did is I just put a little piece of double foam tape right there, dropped it down so that they were not level, and attached it like that. That leaves one more little greeting there, one more little butterfly. And grab a pop dot. We're going to put a pop dot behind this, right in the middle there. And that is going to sit on the very top corner like that. Now the rest of the stuff is in your chipboard. So head over to your chipboard pieces. You have this little pink one that says do small things with great love. I'm going to show you where that's going to go. Right here, double up your foam tape so it sits over top of the edge. And that's where that goes. And then you have a matching heart. It's on your other sheet right in the middle. This is your chipboard. And it says, love lives in the little things. And that's going to foam tape on top of the big heart. So those are chipboards that I don't have anymore because of course I use them and you only get one of each chipboard. So quickly I'm going to bring in that is the measurements for card number 4. I'm going to bring in my 4 cards so that you can see them. I'll hold them up one more time. So if you want to take a screenshot, these are the 4 cards that I designed with this kit. So we have our Life is Sweet with the little adorable birdies. We have our bicycle, lovely one. Grateful for you. And our love lives in the little things. I loved this kit, guys. Now, I didn't even use the die, but you are going to use the die later today with Courtney. So hopefully you've seen her homework. We did post it on our page, so please watch for it. Remember that you need to go to Courtney's page for her Crafty Hour. It starts at 5 p.m. Pacific time. That is Scrapbook in Memories. Head over to her page, and then all your leftovers, good gracious, make sure that you post them on our Crafty Hour. If you haven't looked to in your kit, you do have, there's that one that they did with the little clouds, but you can see I did change it just slightly so that I could get that yellow in there because I really liked the pop of yellow. So that one is on there, but you do have a couple of extra cards that you can create based on that. And you have lots left over. Now, one more thing before I go. Don't forget that tomorrow I'm going to do a very quick 5-minute walkthrough of our new Crafty Hour that goes live tomorrow. It does not go live today. It goes live at 9 a.m. on our website tomorrow. You can head over there right at 9, or if you want to see what you're going to get, hop on to our video. I will show you. It is a massive project. So I think you're going to love this one. There's a lot to it. And so hopefully you pop over. Courtney will also be going live at the same time with her kit so that you guys can hop on it right away. So thanks so much for spending an hour with me this morning. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Bye-bye.